So let me start by understanding what is the current state of using open sources at CIT, where are we now and how we can improve. And after that, I will cover 2 to 3 important open sources that we have already set up in our private cloud, and we want faculty to take advantage of that thing. Okay. So what we are we are okay and good from in this scale in terms of using open sources. Basically, is of course we are very good. In fact, in terms of LMS, using the LMS, the Moodle. Also, different people have tried Google Classrooms and other LMS systems already. So when it comes to LMS thing, right, we are not second to anybody. Right, we have done an excellent job in terms of when it comes to taking advantage of open source LMS. Okay, Moodle is one of the very good example, one of the best LMS that's available out there, and we have kind of mastered that and use it regularly. So thanks to effort by Girish in managing and running that LMS in our private cloud, it's a very commendable job. It's not an easy thing, right? People spend thousands of dollars to just to do what Girish is doing in our private cloud. Okay. And second thing is, of course, taking advantage of video conferencing. This was a more recent trend rather than the pandemic made us to be good at this thing, or else we would not have invested. There were quite a few open source video conferencing tools available even before the pandemic, right? Now we have mastered this thing only after the pandemic. The repositories we have used okay here, but not. There are so many other things where I will just walk through some of the things which we can make use of it, which we can do a good job in that sense, but we are not doing it. Is okay is repositories. Productivity tools. I have come across quite a few faculty who have used these open source tools to improve their productivity. To improve it could be their teaching activity or managing. For example, quite a few have used Google Forms, right, to collect the feedback from thing and do the analysis quickly on that, right? So there are quite a few faculty have done a good job in terms of using productivity tools. Websites, of course. Praveen, I don't know whether Praveen is in the call thing. So he using this PHPs and other open sources, I think. Yeah, we've done a good job in terms of creating the websites, whether it could be our college website or any other websites for that matter, right? And finally, the administration. Okay, so we had a fair amount of success when it comes to using open sources with administration. Or ticketing system is one of the very good example. OS ticket to manage thing. Unfortunately, we started well with Odoo, but somehow we lost track, and I think Gowda, right? I don't know whether he's in the call. So he was really interested in the initial stages, but later he lost it, and we never had this Odoo expertise in our campus. Even today, there are at least around 8 to 10 companies in Bangalore itself, in fact, who charge you for setting up and running Odoo, right? So if we had mastered that skill, we could have both saved the money and made money also. Okay, so unfortunately, we didn't invest time and effort on Odoo, which is one of the very good tool, which helps you in a lot of administration activities for HR, for finance, and everything. And another success is our we are using one of the open source tools for exam results management. So we have a separate set of applications that was developed and used for our results management. So this for the CIT exam department. I forgot Shiv Kumar or something, I forgot his name. Yeah. So with him, we have developed this tool, and it's working pretty well. You can use it from Google App Store and check for the results analysis and everything. Okay, so where we are still not enough, or where somewhere we are really haven't started, is what I will first walk you through. Uh, First is the teaching things, right? There are quite a few avenues that we haven't even explored in those things. Right? For example, I haven't seen any faculty creating podcasts, right? What we have seen that a lot of learners in our CIT are audio learners. That means they are very good in terms of if you can give them the audios, I think they're pretty good at these things. So there is an opportunity for us to create podcasts in these open source tools, but we haven't done it, right? So that's one of the area which we can work and use these open source tool. Teaching is still and it is not domain specific. It's in general teaching. Okay. So in teaching domain is where there are still quite a few open sources that we can use, but we haven't done enough in that domain. Right. For productivity, as I mentioned, that is different from the teaching. Specific to the teaching thing, for example, clickers thing. And also we haven't, maybe only recently we have started using online surveys during the class, while the class is happening. That is because you're doing online teaching, right? Even for the classroom teaching, you could use these kind of online quick feedback or clickers and surveys and all those things. There are quite a few open source tools that you can use during the teaching thing, but we are very not interested in doing that. So my request is that this of the whatever the areas I'm showing is where we need improvement. Okay, and second thing is the domain specific open source tool. So we have created a list of hundreds of open source tool. I think almost like 2 years back, we had a significant effort by quite a few faculty in computer science department and who had done this listing. They went through many faculty in CS department, went to different departments, talked to different faculties, and created this huge list of open sources they can use in each domain. But still, there is a very poor effort from other departments when it comes to using open source tools. Neither they are asking for help from the CS department, nor they are exploring on their own. So that has been an issue, and there is one of my biggest complaints is that one. CS department and IS department are ready to help. I have seen Anil and others who have literally gone to different departments and checked with them, but still, until there is some initiative or some interest from other departments, I cannot really blame CS in this case. Okay, so it's really the onus is on the other departments to take advantage of the faculty in CS and IS who are ready to work with you guys and enable you guys to use these kind of open sources. Okay, so my kind request is, please still you have time, please take advantage of this thing and start using your subject-wise open source tools. So if you have any issues how to use it and how to install and run and everything, feel free to contact our department. Okay. If you can reach out to anybody, me or I think Anil is always easily reachable person. I think he's still in the call. I saw him in the call. Yeah. So please feel free to reach out to him. And the knowledge sharing is what we are. In fact, there is no initiative at all in terms of using these kind of tools. Right. Today, mostly we will focus on the two tools that I'll be spending more time on. That's a lot of related to this domain of knowledge sharing. I think. Okay. Programming and research. So it doesn't matter whether you're in CS or any other department, there will be an element of programming. Even if there is no programming, it could be any tool usage, its results and research activity, and sharing this with others. This is another domain is where we are lacking. Having and taking advantage of technical discussions, brainstorming for these purposes, we are not using any tools as such, right? When I say tools, right, for example, you may have sit and did the brainstorming of some topics, but they are not well documented, or there might not be any documentation at all of that, right? So whenever you have this technical discussions and do some brainstorming of this thing, there is no documentation or no tool usages, open source tool usages. Okay, so one of the tools that we will be discussing today is mainly to facilitate this, to solve this issue. Okay, so where people will schedule these kind of brainstorming sessions and discussions on any topic or any problem. People will join and contribute to these discussions, and they all get well documented. Okay, collaboration too, basically. And finally, the reachability and the visibility aspect. So here I wanted to move this to, so this is different from your own visibility. But when it comes to the reachability and visibility to our stakeholders, right? For example, as a university, our stakeholders are, as a college, basically, our major stakeholder is the university, right? We have to answer to them. And the second biggest is the parents. Maybe they can come the third. The second would be the management thing, and the third would be the parents. In many cases, the biggest stakeholder for the college is especially the top colleges, is the faculty actually. So anyway, so the reachability and visibility part is again still a very, very unused or untapped domain when it comes to open sources and CIT. Okay, so this is the quick summary of where we are doing good and where we can improve. Okay, so you can note down these topics, and if you want to work and improve in these domains, and if you are not sure which one to explore and which one to try, feel free to contact me. Okay. Of course, there is nobody better than Google. You can just ask him or her, whatever you want to call your Google. So you will find lots of tools available out there. Okay. So let me stop telling, and let's start with the tools that I want to discuss today. The first, let me start with the more easier one, is called Etherpad. Okay. So Etherpad is a very simple online discussion facilitation tool, right? So it's used by a lot of open source projects and communities during the discussions. So when there are hundreds of people discussing or join the discussion, quite a few people would want to contribute their inputs, and everyone's input should be documented and contributed, right? So this is where Etherpad comes into picture and does a very good role in this thing. It's a very well used tool in community. So what I would just do, let's do a quick thing. I'm posting a link here in the chat window. So you can quickly go to this link, right? You join this link now. Okay. So welcome to Etherpad. For the Etherpad usage in CIT. So do you see, as and when people join, the number of counts is getting increased. You can name yourself. Please go ahead and name yourself and start typing something here. Okay, Etherpad usage in CIT. Okay. Yeah, you can go to the next line, give to the next line, and create it. Don't overwrite, or it's okay. But it's a very good tool. Typically, what the organizer will do is he creates a section. So, for example, if I am the organizer of this discussion, I will create, for example, attendance. Okay, where user has to enter their names. Then I will create the topics. How to use Etherpad well in CIT. Okay. Then people will give inputs on this one. Hey, we can use it in our classroom discussions. We can use it during online classes. We can open an Etherpad for every class thing and ask students to share their questions or they share their inputs like that. Okay. So everybody's name will be in different colors, and the name will I will know who is adding what kind of a thing. So it's a very useful collaboration tool, especially when you want to conduct a discussion and brainstorming, and it's even you can use it for your classroom teaching also. Okay, so you can create a Etherpad for each and every of your classes, and you can use it. Sometimes a single pad will be used for your whole semester. You can know for each and every day what has happened. Okay, so you can have a template kind of a thing for which will start with the date. Okay, date, attendance, topics to cover. Okay, and the topic one, and you can have a user can add inputs like this. See again, then the date like this. So if you have this template, so every day what has happened for throughout your semester, people can see. Okay, so this you can use only for the brainstorming or discussions for any purposes. So we have set up Etherpad in our private cloud. You don't have to go to see this I'm using some OPNFE, I am part of this group, so I'm just using it for testing purposes, for demo purposes, right? So I see only 8 have joined. Others feel free to join. You just have to, you can get a feel and start typing and entering some things here so that you can get used to the Etherpad thing. Okay. So they already, I see almost 37 there, and hardly there are 6 and 7. Okay. So I request you guys to join this thing and please add something here so that you can get used to this concept. Going ahead, you can create your own Etherpad for each and every subject or each and every topic that you want to discuss. For example, a department can create an Etherpad to discuss some of their problems in the department, right? For example, mechanical engineering say, let's have a discussion on how to improve the lab usages, right? Or let's say, hey, I have this idea and I want to submit this as a proposal for funding. I want to have a discussion with everybody. So you can invite everyone to join the discussion. Let everyone share their inputs on this. Okay. So my request is we are running an Etherpad in our private cloud itself. Because we taking this and running elsewhere on thing, it costs money, right? So we want to save on that thing, and we are running in our private cloud itself. Okay, so please take advantage of this Etherpad that will there in our campus. Girish will share the links for you to how to use it and start creating it. Right? You can also just go to Etherpad. You can run on locally also. Okay, so whenever the Girish sends, whenever you send the ring, right, you will see the same page, whatever you are seeing now. Okay, so you can just, it's a very simple. There is nothing complex here. You can just put whatever content you want it. This is okay. Any questions on the Etherpad? You can post it here now. Okay. Can we attach? No, that we will come to that later then for that. That's a different tool. This is mostly to share quick feedback in the classes, during the discussions. Okay. And it's a live, everyone can see that. Okay, so this is used by all majority of the open source projects and community. They can use it. Unless I type my name, I won't know who is typing it. Yeah, that was my question. Yeah, I got your question. Okay, sure, Radha. Okay, so this is the quick introduction to Etherpad. So that's why this is the, so there's no department specific. It's nothing like CS or ES or ECE should be using it. I would encourage every department to go ahead and use this tool. Okay. There is nothing complex here. People can join over their phones and enter their inputs. You can join over your laptop and enter the inputs. You can share your inputs very freely here. Okay, so you as a moderator, in many cases that you will be either you're a department head or faculty or the classroom, you want to have it. It's better you decide a template first. Okay, so a template like this would help a lot. So if you create a template like this, right, then user will know what to add where. So typically in Etherpad, you should always create a template and keep ready. So in attendance, you can say, please add your names here, add your names here. So then you can decide, allow people to add it. What all topics you are planning to cover, and for each and every topic one, you can better put like this. So if you create a template, you can know what to do. So user, anybody who joins this Etherpad will know what to do where. Okay. So the date is, today is a nice date, right? 10/10/20. 10/10/2020. Okay. That's it then. I will move to the next open source that Girish has already set up in our private cloud. That is even more powerful, and over past year or so, that has been a de facto way of sharing your research among anybody, right? So if it's an ongoing work and if you want to share this work with somebody, so this is the best way. They can reproduce in their environment quickly. Okay, so that was the main purpose that this tool was created and used. And of course, it was initially started as an interactive thing for Python. Now it is used for many languages, not just the Python. Okay, so that I will just put the topic here. So we can use for today's discussion itself. You can use if you have any questions, you can put the topic here. Topic 2 is Jupyter Hub. So Jupyter and Jupyter Hub. So Jupyter Hub is nothing but a centralized place where you can log in and create Jupyter notebooks. So Jupyter Hub is just a centralized place where users log in and create notebooks. So they are all called notebooks because they are just like a notebook. Okay. So let me show the local version. Whatever you see online will be exactly the same thing. Okay. So those who have already used Jupyter Notebook, they might be familiar. Those who have not used Jupyter Notebook, I'll just show. So yeah, launch Jupyter. I'm running locally here. You will see the same thing when you go and log into the Jupyter Hub. Of course, in my system, I have a lot of folders, but when you log into the Jupyter Hub that Girish has created and will share with everybody, you will see mostly empty. There will be no much folders there. Okay. So once you go here, you can click on the new. Okay. And you can click on the language that you want to work on. Okay. Typically, you will be having mostly Python 3. I'm also using Julia for image processing. I don't know how many of you have used Julia. If you want to play around, have fun with images, Julia is a good one. So Python 3, I'm just opening a Python thing. So this is the Jupyter Notebook. Okay. So how it is useful for anybody in any department is, right? There are multiple things to this one. So especially you can put a code here, okay? Or you can put a markdown. Okay, so markdown is one of the way of creating contents, texts. Okay. So for example, if I say markdown, there are very simple tags for Markdown. Okay, maybe I'll put it in the Etherpad itself. Okay, so Markdown is it's a way of it's a language actually. But I don't want to use the word language and confuse you guys. So it's basically a set of it's a language. I'll use the word language, right? It has a very less set of very simple tags to create documents. Now, for example, if I say hash welcome to CIT-Open source session. Okay, so if I just run here, it will create a text heading like this. Okay, so we have seen over a past year or so, lot of textbooks, right? Many textbooks have been published as these notebooks. Okay, so let me put that point here. The advantage, the power of this notebook. So you will see, you will come across many textbook company notebooks. Okay, so here, of course, you can add images, you can do everything here. Okay, it's go everything you can do a lot of things in this part. Okay, so you can keep on going one by one and add. So everything can be a markdown for you first, for example, to begin with, so that you can get the markdown, and some of them could be a code also. Okay, so if you want to add your research thing, the graphs, the programming, the description, for example, let's say the research, the initial could be a title, right? So introduction. If you see, there are very minimal tags like this. Double hash is for the heading section. Okay, then I will go and add all the contents here. So this will become just contents like this for you. Then literature survey. If you see, it's just like I'm writing a paper here, but not exactly a paper here, right? So now I will write all these contents, and I can add some graphs also here. Oh, this is not a code. This is a markdown. Okay. So then I can add some graphs here. I can add some code here about your program, about whatever the research thing. So this is a very, very, very good tool for you to share a document and share your research with others. Okay. So yeah, if you know any programming, if you are comfortable with Python programming, you can add your code here, right? You can just type your code here. Hello CIT. So it will run, and it will give you an output also here. So you can add all your program here and keep it. You can note you will. There are a lot of notebooks available online, right? You just have to Google for notebooks, Jupyter notebook or anything, right? There are quite a few things that are available, especially when it comes to the data analysis, right? There are a lot of notebooks that are available. Okay, so for example, if you want to teach Python itself to somebody, your kids, you can just download a lot of notebooks that are there for teaching Python. For example, I myself have a lot of notebooks when it comes to teaching Python to kids. Let me quickly show. For example, Python to kids, right? I teach on Sundays to some kids the Python. So these are all the notebooks for week 1, week 2, like that. Right? So I kind of give assignments like this to them. Okay, so they do the assignment and they share me back the notebooks. So these are all things that they have to complete it and give it back to me. For example, week 8, week 9. So these kind of programs, if we can assignment, I can give it to them. So you can also give your assignments to all the students as notebooks. Okay, so there are the usages are plenty. So, for example, the usages you can give it as assignments, research, sharing, quick interactive programming, or simply document things, document while listening, just document, just as an editor. A lot of people use it as just as a markdown editor. Many people like to note down as a markdowns thing. Okay, interactive programming, teaching programming. I use for mostly for teaching programming, assignments, and research sharing. So 1, 3, and 5 is what I use this as mostly. Okay, so this notebook is an extremely powerful tool, and going ahead, you will come across a lot of people relying on notebooks. So you can add maybe I don't know where in which week 8 or week 9 added images and everything. You can give me a second. Maybe week 10. God knows. Yeah. So you see, I can add images also like this. So, for example, if you have the location of an image, right, you can just put it here like this. So you just small tagging like this, bang, and put it under square bracket. The whole image will get added, right? If I run it, I can see that image. So if you see, this is an example of a notebook where you can add images and share it with others. So where you can add this kind of graphs and share it with others for them to work with it, right? So this is, of course, I have shared with some my students, some of the students I teach thing. So you can also do the same thing for giving these assignments and sharing these kind of results. Okay, so my kind request now is to please explore Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so even if the use case is just as a simple editor to begin with, right? Please explore, because this will be this is going to stay there. This is not people will not stop using Jupyter for, in any near future, and this will be very useful tool. Okay, so what we have done, you of course you can use Jupyter locally. You don't have to come to the Jupyter hub that we have created in CIT. The main reason that we have created as a hub is not everyone need to install Jupyter on their system. Right? For example, if you want to install Jupyter on their system, in your system, you can quickly download this Anaconda and install and run it. But it will take a lot of resources, consume time and everything. And that will not be accessible wherever you go. You will have to carry your system everywhere you go. Right? Now with our hub, the Jupyter hub that we have in our private cloud now, you can just put it in the hub. Anybody can, if you give access to everybody can access that notebook, and they can see your work also. Right? And that will be accessible to you anywhere from. Okay, so please log into the Jupyter Hub, start creating some notebooks. Okay, the notebook could be only text about maybe your class notes to begin with, just to get habit of using Jupyter Notebook. Okay, and as I said, if you don't want to use the code of this guy, you can just stick to the markdown. Okay, so you can just Google for markdown tags. It will give you a very simple basic syntax. See, markdown guide. Hardly there are 10 things you have to remember. This is what basically you have to know. This page is more than enough for you to know. Even this, you don't have to use everything. hardly we use a few things like the heading 1, heading 2, the underline, and very minimal lists and tables and figures. Okay, so you just have to focus on these headings, lists, tables, and figure. There are at least around 10 things you will have to remember, but that is pretty easy. And if you know HTML already, then it's very, very easy. It's very similar to HTML. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Sure, go ahead.
Sir, like can we collaborate in Jupyter Notebook?
Yes, that is precisely.
For example, I am teaching in Python and list I am teaching, you consider. Okay, so I'll throw a problem on the notebook and students in live, they have to write the code and explain to me. Like
precisely, that's why the Jupyter Hub is very, very helpful. You can create an account for your classroom and put a notebook there.
Okay.
Sir,
okay. Student can work with it.
Sir, I've shared the link for our Jupyter Hub, sir. jupyterhub.CIT-Open.org. I shared in chat. The first time, admin has to create the username, so password can be created by yourself, so that you can add users also. So jupyterhub.CIT-Open.org is a URL, sir.
Oh, okay, Giri. Thanks.
Okay. And
you send over mail also. People will lose the chat.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll send, sir.
Okay.
After the session, I'll send, sir.
Yep. So we have a Jupyter Hub also running now. Okay. So if you have any questions in Jupyter or anything, please let me know. Okay. Because there is not much here unless if we want to teach Python with this, there is nothing much in this tool, right? You can switch to any programming thing if you want to do programming. But if you are starting with Markdown, you just always ensure that this is a click as Markdown. Click on plus to create a new one, change it to Markdown and run it, whatever you type. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Tell me.
Hello, this is Veena.
Yeah, Veena, tell me.
Sir, if you are using for research purpose, how it is secure, sir? It is available to everyone, codes and all.
So when I say everyone, you do not have to share with everyone. You share with your peers if you want the feedback from somebody, right?
Okay.
This tool. You don't put it in public unless it is published.
No, sir, no, not public. Even for students or anybody can access. You said no, sir. That's what. Just I confirm.
No, you can restrict the access. You can restrict the access to anybody. You can share with anybody easily. You just have to get the notebook and send them the notebook. So their environment, the notebook, and give you the feedback.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
You can share with your friends. Just like imagine your physical notebook, you write something and give it to your friend and ask them to give the comments and they will give it back to you.
Okay, sir. Oh, just like one-to-one contact also you can use.
Of course, it's mostly many cases it's used in one-to-one context.
Okay, sir. That's what just I confused.
Especially when it comes to research, right? If you want to share your research work with your with somebody in some other college, for example, your friend in US is there. Right?
Okay.
You want to share all the details of your research that's ongoing, and you want to get his or her feedback on your research. Okay. This notebook will give you an excellent opportunity. What other option you have now is you have to send your draft paper. You have to send all your research results and process and everything that you have followed to get the feedback, right? You have to send a lot of things to them. Now, with this notebook, it helps you a lot in putting everything in one place and share it with people.
Okay, sir. Okay, thanks.
And especially if your research includes Python, there is no better option for you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Many options are there, sir.
And your people who are working on image processing and everything, there are a lot of other programming like R, Julia, everything.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, sure. So, so you can say Jupyter supported languages. So I think, Python, R, Julia, and Scala. So mostly these kind of data analysis things. So a lot of statisticians, mathematicians, data analysis people use notebook very heavily. Julia is for a lot of image processing. So if you are working on image processing, this notebook is an excellent utility. Okay, so if you are using Julia, consider using notebook. Okay, so that's the on Jupyter Notebook. I want to cover two more things before I stop at 11. The next is topic 3. We are not yet running. I had mentioned to Girish, but I haven't pushed him after that to run it. So maybe in a day or so we will start running. I want to set up this OpenConf utility in our CIT. So this is basically a conference management system. It's an open source conference management system, right? I had set it up and run once, so it should be pretty easy. So OpenConf. You can Google for this one, OpenConf thing. And we can run within our, we run our KNU and other things, right? But we don't use these kind of tools for our conference management. Okay, so if we want to run conferences, summits, right? By CIT, this is the tool to use, right? So you can add organizers, the reviewers, and people can submit the papers there. Reviewers can automatically goes to the reviewers. Reviewers can give the feedback. And once all the feedback is considered, all the feedback we can go to the people who have submitted the papers, accepted or rejected. So everything of conference management can be done with OpenConf. Okay, so we can have a setup OpenConf in our CIT. We will have it soon, of course. And we can create a conference one by one. At least we can start with our KNU, right? What we call KNU, right? And also this another use case that we have used this thing is basically as an idea repo. So we also want to use the same thing for people to submit the ideas. So anybody, any faculty or student can submit ideas, okay, which can be reviewed by experts. Today, for example, in faculty, right, I have seen from a lot of faculty, they have some thoughts and ideas. They don't know where to get the feedback from, right? And another important thing is there is a fear of when I share my idea, what if someone else takes it and uses it, kind of thing, right? Now, if you submit an idea to this idea repository, right, it will be under your name. Okay, so there is a proper documentation and a document trail will be maintained. Who has submitted idea, who has reviewed it, and how many positives are there. So that is a very, very useful way, and it encourages a lot of people to submit their ideas and get the feedback and take it to the next level. Okay, so this is a very, very important thing that we need more urgently in our CIT, where we want our faculty to start sharing their ideas. The ideas could be you want to submit a proposal, right? You have an idea now. Now you don't know whether this idea is good enough for submissions and everything. So what you can do going ahead, maybe from next week, is you submit this idea to the repository. Okay, just like a paper submission. Okay, so we will create a template for idea. just like a template for idea, just like IEEE template for papers, right? So we will share this template for idea. People can use this template to submit their ideas to idea repository. Okay. So we will call this, we will use this OpenConf as a system thing to manage all the ideas that is generated by CIT faculty and students, of course. Right? But this is mostly for the faculty. See, I have seen and heard, I think you guys will also agree, if there has been a system where you can submit your ideas and get feedback, right? From the domain experts or from anybody who can give the feedback, right? Then that would be a very, very useful. Do you guys agree with this? I have heard this from many faculty and I'm very confident that this will be very helpful for them. So this OpenConf will be, so once we set it up, we will share the links. We will start with the two things. One is to run our KNU, and the second thing is to the idea repository. Okay, going ahead, whenever we run any IEI based conferences or local IEEE based conferences or anything, we can make use of this tool if there is nothing available. Okay. So for example, today, last time when we ran a conference, I'm not sure what tool we used for conference management. I don't know, it's Pradeep or if anybody knows, you can tell me. Is Pradeep there? No, right? Anil, do you know?
Sir, sorry to tell you, I disconnected because of internet connectivity. Can you repeat the question?
So last time when we conducted the conference, what tool we used for conference management?
Sir, actually, we are given the proceedings and everything to EasyChair, sir. So they managed everything for us.
Okay, okay, okay. But we didn't manage anything locally.
Locally, we didn't manage, sir. Only we kept the part of communicating with the participants.
Okay. Yeah. So, but we will have this tool, OpenConf tool. Of course, this is OpenConf is one of the tool, but if you have anything better, we can still use that. But the idea is for these two things. One is to run our KNU, and second is the most important is the idea repository. Okay. So, if anybody has any questions on this idea repo?
Sir, can we integrate this with our website, web page?
Of course, of course.
Yes, sir, we can do.
For example, when we want to evaluate faculty, right? Typically, we will check how many ideas you have submitted to the repo. For example, I'm just giving an example. Tomorrow, Suresh can decide, hey, I want to see what all ideas you have shared to the repo and how many have given the feedback. Or for how many ideas you have given the feedback. Right? So, for example, if you are a senior faculty and if a lot of junior faculty have submitted the ideas and you have not reviewed and given feedback to anything, then you're not doing your job, kind of a thing. Just an example I'm just telling. So this idea repository will be a very, very good tool for the faculty assessment also. Okay, so and also that's where I said the important thing in these ideas is the originator of the idea will always your name will always be there. Hey, he is the one who had proposed it, kind of a thing. So you can be free and go ahead and share it, I think. And we don't want to expose this on the internet. We want to keep it within the intranet thing because ideas are precious, right? Of course, ideas are useless if it is not implemented. The first start is at least to generate some ideas. And people like our CRP, right? They have a lot of good ideas, which we others want to take it up and implement it, right? So if you say, if someone has posted an idea and you want to implement it, that itself is a huge thing. So this gives option for taking someone's idea and implementing it, right? As I said, idea is useless if it is not realized, right? So if you as a faculty take up somebody's idea and implement it, that's a big thing, right? So you can decide what kind of how you want to contribute. You are an idea generator, or you are an implementer, or you are a reviewer. You can take the role, but you have to take at least one role, right? So you say, somebody says, I'm good in realizing and implementing it. Let, for example, CRP comes up with a good idea on a thing, and mechanical engineering will take up that thing and say, I will take this initiative and drive it and implement it, right? So this idea repository is very, very important for our college now, and we will set it up soon. And CRP has promised to put quite a few ideas here. And once it is ready, different departments are encouraged to take up these ideas and implement some of them. Okay. Is this clear? So you have to take up the role of one of these things, either the generator, GENERATOR, okay, or the implementer. Don't worry if there is a word or not, or the reviewer. You have to wear a hat of one of these three. Okay. So if you have any question, please let me know. Okay, the last thing is, I think this is, Girish has already set up this one. I will just spend a few more minutes before I end this call. So topic 4 is the wiki, right? So there is nothing, you all know what a wiki is, right? Just like Wikipedia thing, but this is for the local wiki. We will, this is again a good tool for knowledge sharing. So we will categorize these things, of course, starting from the technical, non-technical, and within the technical, each and every department wise and everything. Okay. So this media wiki will be used for mostly for the knowledge sharing. It could be both technical and non-technical things. And of course, you might be mostly good in the technical things, and it will be for every department. So they can create and write about this any topic thing. So this will help you in practicing writing, practicing technical writing. So please make use of this thing, and this again will be a useful tool for we say, hey, in our wiki, how many articles have you written, right? So even though this is where you can make use of this thing to practice your technical writing and writing the actual papers. Okay, so please, I kindly request you guys to take advantage of this wiki that is there. Why of course you can write it on your own system and keep it. This will give you the visibility. Okay, so others can read your articles. And definitely appreciate it and give the feedback on your articles, right? So this is kind of a now if you see, right, all of these things eventually will help both the faculty to improve himself or herself, and also for the management to understand how you are working and how best you are taking advantage of these things. So let me summarize this thing. So we have set it up Jupyter, Hub, Etherpad, Wiki, and Idea Repo. Okay. So you are encouraged to use them. So this will give you both the management and for yourself a better picture of your progress. Okay, and I'm very, very confident that they will help you and help you grow as a researcher going ahead. Okay, all of them are kind of related to research. This will help you in your writing skills. This will help you in the generating ideas and coming up with ideas for your papers. Okay, so this will, of course, for sharing your research and writing your programs for your research. And Etherpad is for your discussing your research. So my main theme of setting up this 4.2 open source tool is for you guys to support and work on these 3 topics. Okay, the research domain. So going ahead, CIT has to become good in research, and this is the first step that we are taking to help our faculty to become a good researchers. Okay, this will the first will help you to share the ideas and get feedback on the ideas, the writing thing, for conducting the research, and for discussing about the research. Okay, so I have considered all the 4 phases thing: the idea, the discussion, writing, for the research. So please conduct. So this is a please take it as a first step in terms of helping our faculty in performing research activity, and management may use this for reviewing your activities. See, it's not that Girish puts all his time and effort in setting up and managing all these open sources and none of the faculty uses it. That is not acceptable, right? We are wasting both Girish's time and everyone's time here. If you have a genuine reason for not using these things, we'll be more than happy to hear that. Unless the genuine reason could be that you are doing an alternative things to it. We are very much okay with it as long as you are doing it. But if you are not doing anything alternate to it and still not using this one, that is not acceptable. Okay, so I will stop here. If you have any questions, you can ask me, or else we will end this topic.
Sir, can we create for all the applications which you run in CIT Tumkur a single sign-on kind of thing, so that everyone are there in CIT Tumkur domain, so that automatically they can use their mail IDs as an
that's a portal. So create that. That's of course, yeah. See, for that we have to first run a LDAP server, then log into it and get access to each and everything. There is a lot of effort involved in it. I don't know. I don't have any resource for that for now. If you know somebody who can help us in setting up this thing, then we can do it.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Because these portals, right? We need a centralized login management system, like any LDAPs will do, and from there we have to have a unified traversal to the different things. Anyway, well, let's start with
how do you access these all the things, sir, now?
Sorry?
How do you access all these things actually? How do you make it out?
Girish will send out a mail to on this thing.
Sir, I'll share the details, sir, here through mail.
Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you very much. Thanks for spending your time on the Saturday. So I wish you all good luck.
Thanks a lot, sir, bringing out new technologies and helping us in teaching, using them in teaching.
Hey, thanks, man. And I'm sure I'll have the support of our faculty in using it.
Definitely, sir.
Hey, Anil, you have to push other departments, man. Okay.
I'll try, sir.
Thank you very much, guys. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Hello. ಹಲೋ ಯಾರೋ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಲೋ